this short video tutorial, we're going to dive into the newsletter campaign manager, how it works, what the user sees, and some of the basic fundamentals behind it. If you have a website on the Logicbox platform, you'll have access to this dashboard. From the sidebar, once you're logged in, click the marketing tab and navigate down to newsletter campaigns. This section here will display all of the campaigns. To add a new campaign, simply click Add Campaign. We're going to mark this public. You would set a newsletter campaign to be private if you want to send internal messages to anybody on your team. If you have a set contact group and only those groups of individuals will be receiving those emails, you wouldn't necessarily want the regular users who happen to come across your website to see this newsletter. You should put a description outlining what the newsletter campaign is. The status checkbox, once clicked, will display to the subscribers in their newsletter preferences. When you're creating a brand new newsletter campaign and you already have active subscribers, you may wish to send everybody an automated email stating there is a new newsletter for them to opt in. You'll see the brand new newsletter. It is active, it is public, and you have 0 of 0 contacts. There is absolutely no emails in the queue. In order to see the delivered, non-delivered, and opened emails that are sent, you will need to have an active SendGrid API key. Once you are provided with the API keys, go to your website preferences, and within your settings, outgoing email method, check SendGrid API. Paste in your provided key, and 3 columns will start displaying the information. The SendGrid API key is definitely not a requirement to run successful newsletter campaigns with your visitors. Now that we have created a public test campaign, you'll note that there are 3 different icons. One of them is to edit the newsletter campaign properties. The second is to see the recipient contacts, and there are none in here. The third is the campaign emails that will be delivered to any subscribers that are added into your newsletter, and as you can see, there are none in here. Let's take a look at an example of a newsletter schedule. You can click right here on the number 8, or you can click on the envelope icon. This page displays all of the email schedules for your current newsletter. You will note 3 buttons right here. The first is your activity report, and again, you must have the SendGrid API key in order for this to function. The second option is to edit the email, and the third icon will duplicate the email. So let's take a look at this particular email. There are several options to take a look at. The newsletter option allows you to switch this email and place it into another newsletter. As we add templates, you'll have the ability to switch to the different templates. You have the ability to include your company logo. This is the logo that you have uploaded in your settings, and it is the logo that is displayed across your website right here. Moving down, you have the status drop down, allows you to create the email but not have it be part of the delivery queue. If we click draft, it will not be sent out within the email queue. Once you mark it back published, it will be included as part of the email queue. Please note, if you have users actively in the email queue, they will not see this email. Only the new subscribers would have seen this email. From is taken from the settings of your business email. This way they will have the ability to respond to your email. Any replies will not display within your mailbox because they will be responding to the Gmail or whatever account that is displayed here. The next drop down is when you wish to send your email. You may send the emails on any designated day after the user subscribes to your newsletter. If the user decides to subscribe today, today is day 1. If the email was to be sent out 3 days after the user subscribes, then you would mark it 3. You also have the ability to send on a specific date. For example, I could set a Valentine's email to be sent out on February 14th instead of a specific date, which may or may not land on February 14th. The email body has many formatting options for you to choose from. However, we do recommend that you keep your emails clean. You also have the ability to see exactly what your emails will look like with the test function. We can send this to any email address that we wish. This may take anywhere from 5 seconds to a minute depending on how fast your email server is. At any time, you may click the preview button to see what the emails will look like. So if you're browsing through the emails and you're seeing a typo, something that you wish to change, you may click on here. So let's add a logo to this one. We're going to change this to yes on the top, and we're going to change logo is included. That's our reference, and let's click submit. You can also preview these right here as well. So now we have the logo on top. If we wanted to send a test email, we can click on this and this would be delivered to our email address as well. Once again, we're going to the third email right here, and we can see that the logo is now displayed right here. If your email campaign has a lot of email messages and you want to see what they would look like when they're sent to the individuals, click test and enter an email address to send these to. This will now start sending the emails created within the queue, so you can get a glimpse of exactly what they will look like to everybody else that's going to be receiving them. You will need to give it a couple of minutes, as the emails that are sent are sending them every couple of seconds in the order they were created. You can now see that the emails are coming in as they should be. If you want to individually test a particular email, click test and send the email to that address. If you go under subscribe contacts, this is where you'll find all of the users who have opted in or whom you have added manually with the create subscriber manually option. Here you can assign newsletters to these individuals as you create them. Let's go back on the front end of your website. Right here, we're within a blog post, and you can see never miss an update, subscribe to our newsletter option. This is where a user would put in their email address and receive a verification message that they need to click on before they're actually added to the system. On the admin side, this page had no data. Now if we refresh, you can see that the person is actually sitting in your database as a lead. You can see that they're not assigned to any of the newsletter. If you wanted to edit this person's information, we click on the edit function and we can manually add their information. For example, this comes in handy later if you wish to turn your user base into a directory, for example. We have the ability to dispatch a verification email. This is usually used when you're creating the user from the very beginning using the create subscriber function. We will update and see our changes just took effect right here. Let's jump into the mailbox and see what the user will see. Alright, so the email came in and it displays Inventive Minds Kid, no reply at Inventive Kids. Let's click on it. It's a basic message telling the person that they need to confirm. So let's confirm this email. Once the user clicks on it, they'll be presented with any newsletter campaigns that are publicly set. So you'll see that the test newsletter campaign that we've created is in here. Here's our test and the other 4. Please note that there are 5, but this one is marked private and it does not appear in here. The user does have the option to unsubscribe completely and remove themselves from your database with this checkbox here. This does turn everything off and it will delete the user from the database. At this point, the user has the option to turn any newsletter on or off and submit. Their preferences have been updated successfully. Now let's take a look at what happened on your dashboard. On your newsletter campaign manager, if we look at our test and weekly parent newsletter, you now see that there is 1 of 1 contacts added. If we click on this, it will display that individual who just opted into the newsletter, and it will display any other newsletters that they're a part of. If we go to our marketing subscribed contacts section, you will also note that this user now has 2 assigned newsletters. Let's assume we wanted to add this user to our private newsletter. We would click edit and now find the private one, which is this, and we would control and click on the name. This will select it and update. Now we can see that our private newsletter was also added, and if we want to double check, we'll go down here and see that right now the user exists in here as well. At this point, if a user edited their newsletter preferences, they would see this newsletter in here as well and have the option to turn it on or off. To add a user into any of the other campaigns, for example, you would click on the recipient's contacts icon within the newsletter and click Add Subscribed Contacts. From here, this will display every single user in the database. We click Check and Add Selected to Community Outreach. This will immediately activate the newsletter email queue and send messages to any of the selected contacts. So you must be certain that you want these individuals to start receiving the emails from this particular queue. And now this user has been added. If a user happens to be already part of the system, they simply put in their email and they will receive duplicate email found. This will dispatch another email to their email box asking them to verify the preferences and have the ability to turn them on or off once again. I hope this answers a lot of your questions on how to create and view newsletter campaigns within your LogicBox system. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to info@thelogicbox.com and make sure you tune into our other video tutorials. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one.
I've had this problem.
Big problem.
I really needed.
A good web developer.
And I kept searching and searching.
There are so many choices.
It's really hard to find one that has all the things on my list. But I finally did it.
Yes. Thank you.
If you were looking for one as well,
Look no further.
Here's a really good one.
Just use mine. Use mine.
I'm very satisfied.
Definitely recommend. Problem gone.
thank you.
Welcome to the Logic Box. We're a full-service digital marketing and web agency. We have extensive knowledge in digital media, traditional print, website design, and advertising. With hundreds of completed projects and Fortune 500 companies trusting our expertise, we're confident we will over-deliver on your project. Take a look around, review our work, and get in touch when you're ready and would like a quote. Convert more clients and leave a lasting impression. Our clients, our friends are one and the same. Your brand deserves the best. It deserves the Logic Box. Call us today.